everyone, guess who's back? It's Kamish. Back here with another weekly preview. It's week 4. Things are getting interesting. Let's get into it. We got Adrian and the age crew sitting at 1 and 2, taking on Ellie Island 1 and 2. Adrian 1 and 0 lifetime. Even with Devontae Adams, if he does come back for Ellie, I think Age is really just better. It's interesting to see he found 2 starting tight ends just from, I think, waivers, Tanyan and Allie Cox. So, looking at that, I'm going to go with Adrian because Ellie Island's an auto draft. Next up, we got Stan and BC Lions 1 and 2 taking on Chris and True North 0 and 3. Stanton looks pretty decimated at this point. Went on a full sell. Makes sense. It's the first meeting between the two. For True North, I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers. He's been brilliant. There's no doubt about that. For Chris and True North, I was originally going to go. I had Stanton when we did the previews when I started this thing, but it's a change alert. I'm going Chris and True North. Next up, we got Lucas and Green Lightning taking on Robert and Templars 3-0 versus 1 and 2. Lucas 5 and 2 lifetime versus Robert. He's really dominated him. The injuries still for Lucas have been mounting, but he does keep turning. The injuries have actually made Robert better. We saw with Le'Veon Bell, Frank Gore come in. He's got some other guys that benefited. This game really comes down to the same it does for me and Brandon. Dallas versus Cleveland. Robert's got all the Dallas guys, though, because he's a true fan. But I'm going Lucas in this one. Next up, we got Sabatica Spartans sitting at 2 and 1, taking on Eric and Swahino 1 and 2. Injuries keep piling up for Dusan, and they're piling up big time. Looking at Sternberger, he finally lives for Eric. We saw a sighting. Dusan's 1 and 0 lifetime. These guys were rivals in tier 2, tier 3, tier 2. I got Dusan in this one. I think he finds a way still to take out Eric in this one. Next up, we got Joshua, Life's a Mitch, 3 and 0, taking on Luke, Too Good for Name 1 and 2. Luke's 3 and 1 lifetime. He's kind of owned Joshua, but Cohen adds to a long list of injuries for Luke, and Tannehill has been nothing short of brilliant for the most part for Joshua. So I had Luke when I did the original predictions. This is a change alert. We're going with Joshua. Next up, we got Krista and Storm 2 and 1, taking on Suze and Fighting Geese 2 and 1. Suze 3 and 0 lifetime in the Battle of the First Ladies. She's dominated Krista. She's made it look easy. RW3 is this year's Lamar, though. When I look at Krista's lineup, Suze looks like a playoff team, I feel, potentially, if things work out her way. But still, I do have Krista in this one, taking out Susie. Next up, we got Ryan and Deuce Bombers 2 and 1, taking on Milan 2 and 1, 2 original owners. Well, almost original for Deuce. Deuce has struggled against Milan. Well, not too much, but he's 1 and 2 versus Milan. For Milan, he definitely needs A.J. Brown to come back. The injuries, obviously, to Barkley, among others, have hurt. This game is going to come down to 2 bums. A quarterback this year, Cousins versus Deshaun. Well, no, they're not bums, but both teams are obviously in the dumpsters. And it comes down hopefully for Deuce, Cousins having a big game. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going 6 in this one. Next up, we got Norman Canadian Guy 1 and 2. Danny Billsy Bubs 2 and 1. Who would have thought? This is a heck of a game. Looking at it, Mahomes is brilliant. Obviously, we saw what he did against Baltimore, made it look easy. McKinnon should still have a big role. Danny is 1 and 0 lifetime versus Norm, but looking at Kamara, he's an absolute beast. But because of Mahomes being a difference, I'm going to go with Norm finding a way in this one. Next up, we got Sean and Fallen Misfits 2 and 1, taking on Brian in the 12th man 0 and 3. When I look at this one, there's a few things I look. Well, Brian's 4 and 1 lifetime. He's actually dominated Sean over history. But looking at this one, I'm looking at Brian's lineup. Rivers is a bum. Ingram's too old. Julio's getting too old. We kind of talked about it on the chat. I see a reset needed for that lineup. It's been I think it was Brandon said it's been dry for a while. Sean, much more diverse, and lineup is rotating in the machine that Sean calls the trade machine. And I think Sean wins this one. And ignoring history in 4-1. Next up, it's game of the week, guys. We got Brandon, Architect, myself, sitting at 2-1. Brandon's 1-2. 1-1 split lifetime. It's been a straight up split since Brandon came in. We all know what it comes down to. Browns heading into Dallas. I see my Browns winning. Both teams are fairly healthy. Perryman is out for Architect. For me, Jordan Reed is out, and I think that's going to be the difference. I have the Architect winning this one, as I had it originally. I do think Cleveland's going to win, and I did want to do a change alert, but you guys have me all jinxed thinking, well, if I pick someone else, the other guy will win. So I'm going Brandon, and that's what I had originally.